All right, today is February the 18th, and I just did my cash stuffing for the 17th yesterday, but I have to make some changes to my overall budget. Sorry, I was playing being over it, reinventing Renee. I have to make some changes to my budget, and I thought I would just quickly go over them here, so I have it kind of journaled. Just give me a fresh piece of paper. Okay, so my son is having difficulties meeting his bills this month, so he's going to be needing some help. And I realized that in order for me to help, I'm going to have to restructure my whole game plan for the month. So to prevent this from happening again in the future, should the need arise that any of my kids need help with rent or whatever, that I am able to help without having to, just run around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to figure out how I'm going to pay my bills and help them at the same time. So I'm trying to free up as much money as I can. So I have a kids emergency fund, and I've kind of roughly decided where I can pinch some money from. And I'm just going to get this down on paper and make sure that I'm going to be able to do it, to make sure my plan that I've thought up is going to work. Okay, so my goals for the year aren't going to change that much. So first off, I have Tom. I owe Tom, do I need to zoom in a bit so you can see this? I owe Tom $5,000. I am paying him $500 a month until it's paid off. So that's $125 a week. I am not making any changes to this. My RSP, it's an automatic $160 per week. I'm not making any changes to that. I do not want to mess with my retirement plan. Next up, we have my 1 month ahead. I had it that I was doing $50 a week for my 1 month ahead. I'm not in a big panic. I'm not too concerned if this is fully funded by the end of the year or not. So I'm going to actually have that. I was doing $50 a week. Now I'm just going to do $50 a month. No, I'm going to do $100 a month, which is $25 a week. So that will free up $100 that I can put towards the Kids Emerge. Next up, we have my Christmas. My Christmas, I was budgeting $70 per week. I'm going to knock that down to $50 per week, which will free up $80 for the month. My brick, I had slated $70 per week to go to the brick. I'm going to knock that down to $65 per week. And that will free up a whole $20. I just got to make sure that this is paid off before August, so it shouldn't make a difference, the $5, but it does help this fund here. US dollar, again, I am putting $75 Canadian a week towards my US savings. I was doing $75 a week, like I said. I'm going to cut that in half. I'm just going to do 150 Canadian a month. So that works out to be $37.50 per week Canadian, which would be $25 a week American. And that actually frees up $150 Canadian. My line of credit, I was putting $125 a week to my line of credit. I'm going to knock that down to $100 per week, which will free up another $100. And then lastly, I mentioned before that I have two jobs. I have my full-time job, my 9 to 5, and then I have a job that I go in once a week, just for a few hours to do some bookkeeping. I talked to him. I did get a raise, and my take-home was $120 a week, and it's now $220 a week. I do make more than that, but I take extra off in income tax. So coming year end, I'm not paying income tax. So instead of putting that $400 to back into my budget. I'm just going to put it right into the kids. So that's going to be $400 a month. So $100 a week. And so let's just see how much. Actually, I don't need, I can do that. I can tally this out. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 750, 830, 850. So I freed up $850 out of my budget to put towards a Kids Emerge. Okay, so let's just make sure that I'm going to meet all my targets, and the three, I have 3 accounts that I'm concerned about that I am putting to the snowball. So let's just start December, November, October, September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, and January. Okay, so the 3 in question, let's just line up. Okay, so the brick. So at the beginning of the year, the balance I owed for the brick was $17.25, and this needs to be paid off by August. Next is my line of credit. I'm working on getting my credit usage down to 30%. I should mention the brick is in Tom, so this is not affecting my credit usage. The line of credit is the only thing I have other than my credit cards, which I pay in full. The line of credit is what's affecting my usage right now. So I need to get it down to 30%. My target is 30% by the end of the year. And in order to get it there, I need to pay $8,041 plus any interest. But the interest I figure at the end of the year, I will clean up anything there. And then Tom, the $5,000 that I owe him needs to be paid. Doesn't need to, but I told him I would have it paid off by October, so I'm going to do my best to get it there. That's not going to be a problem. Okay, so for January, the brick, we have already paid $315. That payment has already gone through. I have put aside $70 already. And then on the 23rd, I'll put the first 65, the new. So I'd like to buy a vowel. I will have $135 by the end of this month, and then the first 2 installments in February will actually pay for February. So I have $135 plus the 65 times 2. So $265 will be my payment in February. Let's blow it up again. Okay, March will be the normal 65, so that's going to be 130, so 260 for March. April is going to be the normal 4 weeks, so that's 260. May, there is an extra paycheck, so it's going to be 260, and 65 is $325 for March. June is going to be the normal 260. July will be 260. Actually, I think that's going to be paid by then. Let me just tally that up. I think that's going to be too much if I do that whole month. 315, 265, 260. So it's 1685, and then we have 1725. So $40. So July's payment will be $40. And so that leaves $220 not needed. That will snowball into my line of credit. So I'm just going to put it over here at $220 will be snowballed into my line of credit there. August would normally get the 260. It's just going to snowball. September is going to be 260. That will snowball. October, there's an extra paycheck, so that's going to be 325 snowball. November is the 260 again, and December is $260. Okay, let's move to Tom. January is 500. February is 500. March, April, May, it's got the extra pay, so that's 625 for May. 500 in June, 500 in July, and then 500 in August, and September. Let's just tally it up and see how that looks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 5 is 40, so 46.25. And then the $5,000 balance is $375. So the payment in October will be $375. It is an extra paycheck that month, so $375 minus 500 minus 125. So $250 will snowball. And then the normal 500 will snowball, and the normal 500 will snowball. So the line of credit, I have already paid 3 installments of 270 or 125. So I've paid 375, and next week on the 23rd, I will put in $100. So that's $475 paid in January. February is going to be 4 weeks. March, April, May is going to be the 5 weeks, so he gets 500. June is 400. July is 4 weeks, so it'll get 400, 500, $620. August will be 400, 500, $660. And then $660 again. And then it will be October, so 500, 825, and 250. It's going to be 1,075. And then it will get the normal 400, 260, and 500. So that's $9, $10, $1,160, and $1,160 for December. Okay, so it's looking good. The brick I can still get paid off before August. Tom will be paid off in October as promised. And I just got to see if I'm going to meet my $841. Let's just see. Here it is. Roll it in so you can see it. I'll get it with a pencil so I'm not rolling everywhere. Okay, so we have $79.10 will be the total paid. And let's just double check that figure. $79.10, and I needed $80.41, so I'm short $131, but that's close enough that I can live with that. I will probably get an income tax return. We get carbon tax rebates a couple times throughout the year, and I get a Christmas bonus, and I can work extra hours, so I can make up money anywhere in the year, so I meet my targets. But that's close enough that it's not too much of a stretch, so I'm happy with this. So that will be what I will have to incorporate into my budget. That will allow me to create another savings goal of $850 a month for kids emergency. I'm not going to redo my budget until I see my first pay stub for the year. Like my first full paycheck isn't until January 23rd. We have gone from being paid on the 15th and the 30th of every month. January 1st, we are now being paid bi-weekly. They had to hold a week's pay back, so my first paycheck on the 9th of January only covered 3 days' pay. So my first full paycheck for 2 weeks will not hit the bank until the 23rd. So until that date, I don't know what my paycheck is, so I'm not going to bother rewriting it all out until I know. Also, I am aware that there is another Friday on the 30th of January where I would normally do a cash stuffing, but in order to help my kid out this month, I'm just going to not take any money out of the bank. I'm not going to do any budgeting for the 30th like I normally would, and it's still not affecting me. I'm still okay. Sorry, dry throat from talking. So it's looking good, and I'm happy with that. I just need to do this for peace of mind. So that's good. That's good. I'll be able to sleep at night. All right, we will touch base again in a few days when I see my check stub. All right, have a good week.